Hey, it's Russ Ruffino with Clients on Demand. And on today's show, we're going to talk about 3 expensive habits that are costing you millions. Stay tuned. All right, it is Russ Ruffino with Clients on Demand. I am joined today by the brilliant, the amazing Mr. Mark Von Muser, who is our Director of Sales at Clients on Demand. And today we're going to be pulling back the curtain and talking about 3 very expensive habits that are killing your online or coaching business. Mark, what's going on? Nice to have you here.
Hey, I'm excited to be here. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I know when people... what's tricky about this is people don't even know these habits exist, but you're absolutely right, Russ. They are costing people millions. So it's going to be a fun show.
Yeah. The most important thing I want you guys to understand is that these are habits that almost are automatic. If you have the typical sort of entrepreneur personality type, or even if you're a little bit more introverted, these habits have a way of popping up. But we see it over and over and over again with the people that are reaching out to talk to us. We also see it over and over and over again with some of our competitors. In fact, there are some of the biggest names in the industry that fall prey to these habits. And if you look at their career over time and the way that things unfold, it's like they keep falling prey to these habits again and again and again. And it's such a tragedy because it means that their income, their impact, the difference that they're making in the world isn't anywhere near as powerful as it could be if they just let these habits go, if they just drop these habits. So for those of you guys that are at the beginning stages of your career, or maybe those of you that are a little bit further advanced, I want you guys to really check in with yourself and make sure you're not falling prey to any of these, because they will literally have you leaving millions of dollars on the table, regardless of how advanced you are in the business.
Yeah. What's amazing about this, Russ, it's funny that you mentioned that, some of the bigger names in the business. I'm shocked at how many expertises these people have. 1 minute, they're a lead expert. The next minute, they're a blogging expert. The next minute, they're a speaking expert. The next minute, they're a health expert. And it's like, man, it's like, you're not kidding. People do that. And I understand why. At the end of the day, they're just trying to do it. But by the time we get done with today's show, I think it's going to be really important that people realize that it's okay for you to be an expert in your niche. And the more that you do that, the more successful you will become.
Absolutely. All right, so let's dive in and talk about the very first expensive habit. This is one that we call shiny object syndrome. Shiny object syndrome. So what is that? What does that mean? Well, shiny object syndrome means that you're walking down the path, you're going down the road that you've set for yourself, right? So you've set yourself a goal, you've got a pretty good plan that you're following in order to achieve that goal. But on the path, as you're going forward, all of a sudden you see this shiny little thing off to the side and you go, ooh, what's that? And that takes you down a completely different road. So shiny object syndrome is when you keep getting distracted by other ideas, by other approaches, and you're constantly jumping from one approach to the next so that you never actually just execute on one simple game plan. So it's really important that you understand this. Guys, we've scaled our business we've done over $60 million in high ticket coaching sales now in just the past few years. And the way that we've done that is just by devoting ourselves entirely to a very, very simple process. So our process for getting new clients in the door in our business is dead simple. It only has 4 steps. I'll tell you what they are. We run ads on social media. We drive traffic into a webinar or presentation. We invite those people to book a phone call and we enroll them as a new client, even at premium prices, 5K, 10K, 15K, whatever. That's the same strategy we've been following for the last 7 or 8 years. It's the same strategy that we teach to our clients. And it's only because we've dedicated ourselves to that strategy and improving upon that strategy and just making it better and better. That's the only reason, guys, that we've been able to scale our company so quickly. Does that make sense? So even on a strategy as simple as that, there's still so much, you can go so deep into that strategy. You can make refinements. You can figure out better ways to do the phone call, better ways to do the video, better ways to do your ads, different platforms to run ads on. So even if you have a dead simple strategy, there's still a richness to it where you can really dive in with both feet and explore and like chew that thing down to the bone and find ways to make it better and better and better, which just makes your income go up and up and up. So I really want you guys to understand this. The way that we've built this business is not by constantly jumping from one thing to the next. The way that we've built this business is by keeping it as simple as possible. Now, I want to contrast that with some of our competitors, right? In fact, some of the people that I mentored with back in the day, there's one fellow in particular who's an absolute genius, absolute brilliant marketer. But the problem is he can't stick with one thing for more than like 4 or 5 months. So you see him just constantly jumping from one new endeavor to the next, where 1 minute, he's doing high ticket coaching. And then the next minute, I don't know, maybe it's an ad agency. And then the next minute it's something else. And it's like every 6 months, this guy's completely tearing down everything he's built and starting a whole new business model. And it's like, how many millions of dollars has that cost him? Because the thing is, when he starts something new, he's generally pretty successful at it, right? He's a great marketer, so he's able to make it work. But then he just gets bored and tears it all down and does something else. And so he never really has time to sort of nurture anything and build into a real, lasting, sustainable business. So that's that's how that shows up for your more advanced people. But for the people that are just starting out, this shows up as just jumping from method to method to method, from system to system to system, and never actually sitting down and executing and following through on any of them. And we see so many people fall into this trap. And if you're stuck in that mode, it's a very, very dangerous place for you to be.
Yeah, it also does a number on your psyche, Russ, because it's like I can think of so many people, like you were mentioning a top marketer. I'm thinking of a top fitness expert, right? The guy had a show on ESPN, super good guy too. And every single, about 2 to 3 weeks, he's doing something new. Some new supplement, some new wonder drug, some new MLM, some new this, some new that. And the problem though is that I honor that he wants to be successful, but because he keeps bouncing around and never making anything, he doesn't have any roots and he's never been able to make it rock. And this guy is one that's done over 150 covers in magazines. So the guy has the expertise at his niche, but because he keeps bouncing around and it's always something new, it's just like, he's just never found success. So it happens a lot.
And look, I understand, because most people who start a business, most people who have that entrepreneurial personality type, we're big picture thinkers, right? We're idea people and we're really enthusiastic. So when we get a new idea, we get super enthusiastic about it. The danger is that when you're constantly getting excited about the next new idea and the next new idea, that you never stop and execute on a good idea. You never stop and execute on a good plan, because just taking one idea and carrying it to fruition is a process that can take years, guys. And look, and we get really rapid results for our clients where we're getting them launching a new high ticket offer and they're bringing in, we're getting them up to 20K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month in a relatively short period of time. But it's only by applying really intense focus to one idea and making it real that you can actually generate real success. So I'm constantly having ideas in our business. Well, what if we did this? What if we did that? And one of the great things about Mark and the rest of our executive team at Clients on Demand is they're constantly going, yeah, Russ, hold on a second, but we should really finish executing on this thing before we roll out that thing. And that's so valuable, because if we didn't finish executing that first thing, then that's just another idea. So guys, when you're first starting out, it's really tempting to think that your ideas are valuable, right? I remember when I was like acting back in the day, right? And I had an idea for like a movie. I was like, I got to keep that quiet. That idea, someone's going to steal that idea. And it's the same thing when you go out there into the business world and you try to start a business. Oh man, I want to do a high ticket coaching program about this, or I want to do a program about that, or I want to launch a workshop about this. And you think that idea is what has value. But the truth, guys, is that ideas are practically worthless. What counts is execution. What counts is the ability to make things happen. So if you take two business owners, and one of them is just off the charts creative, constantly coming up with great ideas, the other one isn't so creative. They really have one idea, but they're a damn hard worker, and they are bulletproof in terms of their perseverance and their ability to follow through. That person will be massively more successful than the first person. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have a lot of ideas, but what I'm saying is that you've got to pick one and you've got to follow through on it. And as you are following through, do not get pulled off the path to the left or to the right by whatever new shiny object comes out, whatever new killer piece of software comes out, or whatever the latest launch is, or whatever. When you guys see these marketing pieces, right? And if you're like me, you see them all the time. There's always some new product that's being launched. There's always some new software that's coming out. And they always make the same promises. They're going to tell you that this is the one thing you've been missing. This is the thing that's going to be a game changer for you. But the God's honest truth is that that's almost never true. Never true. At best, a new piece of software can help you implement your current plan faster. Maybe. Most of the time, those things are just a massive distraction. So once you set your course, once you set your goal, take the shortest and most direct path to that goal. Don't let yourself get pulled in one direction. Don't let yourself get pulled in another direction. Don't get tempted and settle for something less than what you deserve. Make sure you stay focused and on that path, because that shiny object syndrome will kill your chances of building a successful business every single time.
Well, the old famous story, Russ, 3 feet from gold. That's really it. You know what I mean? It's like, how many holes are you going to dig? Or do you get the data, you know what to look for, and you drive it until you strike gold? How many times have entrepreneurs and coaches, had a great idea, they start it, but it didn't come fast enough. They didn't know what the leading indicators were, or the lagging indicators, and they quit right before it was about to pop. But we see it all the time. And I've been guilty of it even in my own life in terms of fitness. When my blood pressure was high, you know what I mean? I start seeing ads about all high blood pressure. Next thing you know, I'm trying 10 different supplements all to lower my blood pressure. And what was funny was when I went to my expert, a naturopathic doctor who had me on a plan, she's like, well, why are you taking that? 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 And then she had already had me on supplements and different things and the food choices that already were lowering my blood pressure. But because I didn't know what the markers were, and because I suffered from that, that type of behavior, a shiny object syndrome, next thing you know, I was actually making it worse because I was taking a bunch of stuff I didn't need to.
Yeah, guys. So look, the best thing you can do is dedicate yourself to one proven system. So find a system that you know works. And again, the things to look for is whoever created that system should be using that system. So they shouldn't be doing something different than what they teach. Number 2, they should be getting incredible results with that system, right? Results that make you go, oh my God, I want results like that. And number 3, they should be able to create those same results for their clients and number 4, they should be able to do that consistently. So that's what you're looking for. You got someone that's got a really simple system that they are using, that they're getting incredible results with, that they have been able to help their clients get those same level of results, and that they've been doing this consistently for a long time. So it's not just something that worked one time, or maybe they got lucky and had one really great month and then it never worked again. You want to find a proven system that is working consistently. And number 5, you also want a system that's working across a wide variety of niches and markets. So in other words, if someone's got a system for helping you build a coaching business, it shouldn't just work for business coaches. It should also work for relationship coaches, for dating coaches, nutrition coaches, whatever. So guys, those are the things that you want to look for. And when you find a system like that, you want to dedicate yourself to it entirely. You want to make sure that you are executing it and staying faithful to it instead of getting pulled off the path by one shiny object or another. All right, so what's the second mistake? The second big mistake people make is trying to build what I call a Franken business, trying to build a Franken business. So Russ, what the hell do you mean by that? Well, here's what I mean. There are so many people out there that are only teaching one piece of the puzzle. And so this is a big problem that I ran into when I was first starting my business. There was nobody out there that was really teaching a start to finish solution. So in other words, you're just starting out in your business. This is how you go from just starting out to $100,000 a month, or this is how you go from just starting out to a multi-million-dollar business. And here's every step and every piece and everything that you're going to need along the way. When I was first starting out, that did not exist. What you had instead was you had people that were experts in one particular thing. So in other words, you had someone that was maybe like an expert on Facebook ads, and that was their thing. Then you had another person who was an expert on like webinars, another person who was an expert on video marketing, another person who was an expert on enrolling people or selling people on the phone. And here's the thing, guys, most of these people weren't even experts in the first place, okay? But some of them that were, even if they were great at what they did, it was just one piece of the puzzle. So what I was left with was just like trying to build Frankenstein's monster. You're getting like one little piece from over here. You're getting one little piece from over there. You're getting another piece from this. You're getting a Facebook strategy here, a webinar strategy there, a phone strategy here. And you're trying to kind of duct tape all of this stuff together into something that looks like a business model that makes sense. And guys, that is like the dumbest thing you can possibly do, because each piece of your strategy has to be designed to support every other piece of your strategy. And I really hope you understand that. So in other words, what you do and what you say in your advertising has to give you the kind of client that you ultimately want. The prices that you're charging have to give you the income goal that you ultimately want. The way you structure your business has to give you the freedom that you ultimately want. So each and every piece of your process has to reinforce all of the other pieces. And when you build a Franken business, that just doesn't happen. Because look, let's just take Facebook ads as one example. And try to stick with me, guys. If you've never done Facebook ads before, it can be a little bit complicated, but I'm gonna try to say this as simply as I can. The way that you might run Facebook ads to sell, let's say, a $27 ebook is radically different than the way that you would run Facebook ads to get a $5,000 or $10,000 client. So if your ultimate goal is to be enrolling your dream clients at a great price, and then you go out there and you buy somebody's Facebook program that's designed to sell $27 ebooks, everything they're telling you is going to be wrong. And you're going to try to do ads that way into a process that gets you a high ticket client, and it's not going to work. And you're going to lose a ton of money on Facebook, and you're going to waste a ton of time. You understand? So there's massive danger in going and learning a little bit and a little piece from all these different people and then trying to put it all together yourself into something that makes sense. You are much better off finding somebody that can give you the whole enchilada. Like, here's the whole strategy. If you want high ticket clients, this is how you get them. This is how you do the ads. This is how you do your opt-in pages. This is how you do your webinars, your presentations. This is how you do your phone calls. This is how you run your program. And if they can't give you that entire start to finish thing, then you really need to think twice about working with that person, because again, you're still going to have to get all the other pieces from somewhere, who knows where. And even when you get all those pieces together, there's no guarantee they're going to work well together. Does that make sense, guys?
And Russ, this stacks on your first point too, about making sure that they've helped a lot of different people and they have experts. One of the big, we'll just say, in a lot of these companies that I've seen, that I've looked at, and we've had clients that have told us stories, they'll get in there and maybe the one guy was great at ad copy, and he starts a business that says he does everything. And then all of a sudden his brother-in-law needs a job. So that's now their new mindset coach. And his best friend, he's going to teach Facebook ads or whatever. And what happens is that a lot of these people are modeling, for example, our company, where we actually do have experts in every seat, and then they're just putting in friends or other people. And it's also critical to know each step of the puzzle. It's simple, but each step requires a certain level of expertise. And when you start building a Franken business, it's like a success is a combo lock. You might have 6 of the 7 digits, but until you get all 7 digits in the right spot in the right time, the tumbler doesn't open. And that's exactly what happens when you unfortunately build a Franken business. When you start mixing modalities, if you will, you start mixing, for example, low ticket with high ticket. You mix what worked on blogging 10 years ago, and you're trying to use it on today's strategy today with a much more savvy buyer. The buyer has gotten a lot more savvy, and the buyer expects a lot more, and the buyer has had to filter through countless copycats. So it's a different ballgame. But guys, Franken businesses just don't work. It slows you down. It also, again, starts to erode your confidence. Is this ever going to work for me? It's pretty amazing. It's like, imagine building a car, and you got a carburetor, but one carburetor is for a Ford. Then you have an air filter, but the air filter is for a Ferrari. And then you have an engine block, which was to a Subaru. And then you have, next thing you know, is that car really going to operate? You've got 4-wheel drive tires and a drivetrain. And, it's just not going to get you where you want to go. High performance requires excellence at every seat.
That's absolutely true. Each piece of your business needs to be fully optimized to work with every other piece. So again, if you're pulling those pieces from 10 different sources, you're going to end up with just something that's like a big mess, right? You want something that is professional and tight. So you guys have to understand that your own entrepreneurial mindset can actually work against you, because it's so easy for us to be distracted by those shiny objects. And it's so easy for us to fall prey to really great marketing. And that's what you're going to see from a lot of the great players in the space, where you guys are on Facebook and you see some ad for some tiny little piece of the puzzle, and you go, well, I need to get better at Facebook ads. So maybe I'll take that guy's Facebook ad course. But you got to understand that what that person's teaching you, if it doesn't integrate into the rest of your strategy, it's actually a massive distraction, and it can hurt you more than it can help you. You've got to understand that sometimes too much information is a dangerous thing, because learning one way of doing Facebook ads that doesn't fit in with the rest of your strategy, it's going to cost you a lot of money, a lot of time, and it's really going to hurt you. So make sure that whatever model you choose to follow, that it is a start to finish solution, where they're going to give you each piece and show you how they all integrate together, and that they're going to help you execute every single piece along the way. If they're not willing to do that and the support isn't at that level, or if it's just one little piece of the puzzle, then stay away from it, because it's gonna send you down a road that you don't want to go down. Find somebody that's teaching everything from start to finish and learn from that person, because they can help you execute each piece of that model. And that's really what we've tried to do at Clients on Demand with our clients is to set things up so that we've simplified everything down to be as simple as it possibly can. But then we also at the same time have world-class support when it comes to executing each piece. And look, it's really expensive as the business owner to have those people on staff, to have those people on payroll. But look, man, that's what it takes to get real results for our clients. And that's why our clients are so successful, because whatever they need help with, whatever they get stuck on, there's someone on the team that is right there for them, right there to help them. Their Facebook ads aren't working, great. We have our Facebook people. Their copy's not working, great. We have our copywriters. They're having trouble with their mindset. There's all this fear that's coming up, or like feelings of unworthiness, or feelings of like, oh my God, this is too much money. I don't know what to do with all this money. Whatever it is, there's someone there on the team to coach them through each and every piece of that. Does that make sense? So that's what you need to look for as a start to finish solution. All right, let's talk about that third terrible, expensive habit that is costing you a ton of money. And that is too much focus on yourself. Too much focus on yourself. One of the biggest lessons that I've ever learned in business is that it's not about me. So whatever your business is, whatever you're trying to build, it's not about you. It really isn't. That business, yes, you want it to serve your income goals. You want that business to get you to the money that you want, to the freedom that you want. You want it to be something that drives you, something that fulfills you. But at the end of the day, the purpose of any business is to provide a service for other people. And that is where your focus should be. So let's just say you're opening a freaking donut store of all things, right? You just want to make sure that those donuts are like the best donuts anybody has ever tasted in their life. That should be the default mode of running your business, is how can I do the best possible job at this? How can I speak directly to my clients' wants and fears? And how can I get them in touch with what they need? And how can I give it to them better than anybody else out there? And so few entrepreneurs think this way. So many of the people that we see in business are so focused on like their own ego or their own branding or being a big shot or being well regarded or having a lot of followers or just any of this stuff. And the God's honest truth, guys, is that your potential clients and customers, they don't really care about any of that. All they care about is what you can do for them. So the best thing you can do is to take your focus off of yourself and put it square onto your clients. And that should govern everything your business does, from what you talk about to what your ads say, to the prices you're charging, to who you'll work with and who you won't work with. All of those things should just be oriented. Everything in your business should be oriented around getting great outcomes for your clients. And if your business is oriented around anything else, whether that's making you look good or making the maximum amount of money at any cost or any of those things, you are setting yourself up for failure. You're building a house of cards. So get your attention off of yourself and put your attention smack dab on the people who need you most.
Russ, let me expand on that and look at it from a different angle as well. One of the other reasons why people do this is because they're afraid to have the conversation about, working with me. So what they do is they can't wait for the client to stop talking so they can start telling them about their comfort zone where, oh, let me tell you about why you should work with me. Let me tell you about my degrees. Let me tell you about what I've done. And very quickly, the conversation is about me, and let's stop talking about that and let's talk more about me. And so people like to do that because it's a comfort zone. It's what they know, and what they're hoping for is that if I tell them enough things about me that they're going to be so impressed either with my knowledge or my degrees or the initials after my name that they're going to want to work with me. And it's a fool's game. It doesn't work. That's not what they're looking for. What they're looking for is, do you understand my problem and are you the best solution for it? And you can't get there if all I'm doing is telling you about me and let me tell you more about me.
It's so important that you understand this, because so much of what's being taught about branding is wrong. People say, well, if you got to look super successful, you have to have a beautiful website. You should have pictures of yourself driving a nice car, pictures of yourself like, walking along the beach, holding like some tea, looking off into the distance, right? I see that one like all the time on all these people's coaching websites or whatever. But look, it's not about you. No one cares where you got certified. No one cares how nice your pictures are. And as long as your website looks decently professional, nobody really cares. As Mark said, the only thing they care about is what you can do for them. And it's so important that you understand this, because if you truly understand it, it will transform everything about your marketing, everything about your self-presentation, your pricing, your offers, the whole 9 yards. All your clients care about is creating a certain outcome in their lives, creating a certain result. And the more you talk about that, the more you build your communication around that, and the more you build your whole freaking company around that, the more powerful your company is going to be. Guys, look, I'm giving it to you for free. This is the secret, okay? This is the secret, how we can take people in some very, very crowded spaces, right? Some of our clients are in the dating niche. Some of our clients are in the relationship niche. Some of our clients are in the fitness niche. We have clients that work with realtors, clients who work with women and professional women, helping them get ahead in their careers. Guys, those niches are all extremely crowded, and there are some very, very big fish in those niches. But our clients were able to go from somebody that you've never even heard of in your life to building a multiple 7-figure-a-year business because of this one principle. They stopped talking about themselves. They started talking about the client. And if you just are willing to do that, and you're really willing to let that idea in and build a business that actually helps people, instead of just trying to, make you look good or trying to, get a bunch of followers or whatever. If you're willing to build a business that actually helps people, that's enough. Honestly, that's enough for you to stand out in a massive way. Now, you have to know how to apply that principle to all of your marketing and to your sales calls, your advertising, to everything. And that's what we can help you do. But I really want you to let in that one big idea. Just doing that is enough to stand out even in the most crowded marketplaces. And it's kind of a sad thing to say, right? Because you would think that every business out there is oriented around helping people, but so many of them are not. And you can tell. When you've spent a little bit of time in this business, you can really tell the difference between the businesses where the guy just wants to make a quick buck and get the hell out of there, or someone where it's like, I just want to be a big shot. I want to be a little mini celebrity and have my little kingdom and have people think I'm awesome. You can tell the difference between those people and the people that are actually client focused. And I'm just telling you, being client focused and focusing on their problems instead of what you want to say about yourself is the fastest way to just cut through any competition and build a fantastic business. It's kind of sad that that's the case, but it is the case.
I like that, Russ. The other one I like too is focusing on the client celebrations.
Yes.
Your clients. And it's one of the things we take the most pride in. It's not just our success, but the hundreds and thousands of different businesses that we've helped, all different niches, whether it's IBS, whether it's dating coaches, whether it was spiritual coaches, whether it was fitness coaches. Watching the wide variety of these different people and watching them succeed and watching them overcome their obstacles and helping them get rid of the mind trash that was stopping them, or, unpacking that FRANKEN business that they showed up with. What they did show up with was desire, coachability, commitment, decisiveness. And when you have that, remember that one guy, Russ, this poor guy, he spent something like $100,000 on one of the worst websites I've ever seen. And he was like, no, Russ, Mark, I've already got all this money tied up in this and and everything about his FRANKEN business was a nightmare. It was just horrible. And it was like, this poor guy has been like piecemealing on all this stuff onto this website, which was just a train wreck. And guys, a lot of you out there, it's a lot simpler than you're making it. And the FRANKEN business will drag it out. The shiny object is dragging it out. Get a comprehensive front to back system and do what they say. Be coachable. And it's like, we've taken so many people. It's like Sophie reminds me of Sophie Rush. She's in a massively crowded space, weight loss. She had a $31.99 ebook. She was in a space that has every big name, and she wasn't making any money. And she just celebrated in the last 90 days with our 90-day challenge. She did over $175,000. But the real benefit was not that. She's not having to crank out content all day, every day. She now gets to work with clients who are actually doing the work, and they're getting this huge transformation. And it's so much simpler. There was a lot of work to do, but it was so much simpler than all the things she had been trying with creating content and blogging and podcasts. All the different stuff she had tried wasn't working. And the simple process is now making her not only rich, but it's making her massively impactful as a coach.
Guys, that's how we're able to get the kind of results that we get in such a quick time as well. If we were teaching a strategy that revolved around like, hey, go out there and build an audience and, build a big show and, build that audience over the course of 2 years and crank out all this content and post to Instagram 20 times a day and all that other stuff, we'd be dead in the water because none of our clients would get results because that stuff takes forever. But instead, we're able to teach this really simple 4-step process. And so many people have tried to copy it and they can't copy it because what they don't understand is the principles that make it work. You can't just run any ad into any video, into any phone call and get a new client at a 5K or 10K price. All of your communication has to be tied together and all of your communication has to speak directly to what your clients care about most. And that's the part that I think most people just don't understand. When you understand that, you can have this dead simple process where people go, people who've never heard of you in your entire life, they go from clicking on your ad to enrolling with you at 5K or 10K or 15K within 24 hours, even if they've never heard of you. That's the power of communicating in this way. So if you want to put that to work for you, then you need to reach out to talk to us about how you can do that. Because again, this is how we're able to get such fantastic results for our clients. So let's recap. What are these 3 expensive habits that are costing you millions? Number 1, shiny object syndrome. You're getting distracted, you're getting pulled off the path, you're jumping from one thing to the next, and it's going to cost you a lot. Number 2, trying to build a Franken business where you're trying to get a Facebook strategy here and a YouTube strategy here and a blogging strategy here, and you're going to try to find some way to tie all those together. You're going to end up with Frankenstein's monster and it's not going to work. And number 3, focusing too much on yourself in your communication, in the way you build your business. You're just trying to make money. You're just trying to be a big shot. You're trying to do all these things and you're not talking to your clients about the one thing that they really care about, which is their problems and what you can do to solve them. So guys, look, if you want to start transforming the way that you do business, right? You want to stop having to shop for all these different strategies. You want one start to finish solution that's designed to get you high ticket clients at the prices that you want, your dream clients, the kind of people that you dream of working with, and you want to be able to scale your business to 20K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month and beyond, then here's what we have for you. The team has set aside some time to speak to you personally about how we can apply these ideas to your business starting today. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get on the phone with you for about 45 minutes. And we will put our heads together. You can tell us what's working, tell us what's not working, and we'll come up with a step-by-step game plan to get you where you want to go. It will be the best 45 minutes you have ever spent working on your business, and there's no charge for this. It's absolutely free. So here's what I want you to do. Go to clientsondemand.com/talk. That's going to pull up our calendar page. You can choose whatever appointment time works for you, and one of our coaches will call you at the time that you chose. And again, we can just get into all this stuff. There's probably so many things that you're doing right now that you just don't have to do anymore. You don't have to spend all day on social media. You don't have to worry about your branding. You don't have to worry about how many followers you have on Instagram. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff because it's totally irrelevant. A dead simple 4-step process is all you need to start bringing in the right clients at the right price anytime you want. And we want to get on the phone with you and talk to you about how we can help you make that happen. And if you want us to help you do that, awesome. If you don't, that's cool too. But either way, just that one phone call is going to give you 10 times more clarity than you have right now. And you'll probably be able to stop 80 to 90% of the marketing stuff that you've been doing that's leaving you drained, that's taking up all your time. It's wearing you out and it's not bringing in the clients. It's not bringing in the money. So go to clientsondemand.com/talk, book that appointment to speak to us. Now look, real quick, this is not for everybody, right? If you want to take advantage of this, 2 things. Number 1, you must be able to solve a major life or business challenge in your work. So you're helping people fix their relationships. You're helping people get their health under control. You're helping people build a great business, anything like that. It's a major life or business challenge that you solve. And number 2, you must be willing to operate with total integrity. So you must be able to put your clients first and you must really, really care about getting great results for your clients. And if that's you, I want you to go to clientsondemand.com/talk and book an appointment to speak to us.
And let's keep it simple. Let's just look at real simple test is to look at your bank account. Are you making way too much money in the first quarter? If you are, then you're probably good. You don't need to do the call. If you're not, then let's do the call. Take a look at how many new clients. Are you getting flooded every month in, month out with, 10, 20 new clients that are high paying, ideal clients that really want to work with you? And if you are, then great, keep doing that. But if not, then let's talk. Because a lot of times people, unfortunately, they get duped by some of these marketers who are saying, oh yeah, try my blogging strategy and in 3 years, you're going to know if it works. Or try my new Wonder widget. And if that doesn't work in 6 months, you'll know. With the system that we're doing, we see results almost immediately. It depends on whether or not you have a list. If you don't, we show you how to build one. But the call is free, like Russ said, and it's not tough to tell if you need it. If your bank account needs more zeros in front of the decimal point, then we should talk. And if you want to start getting clients, clients on demand where they're coming in consistently, they're ideal and they're ready to enroll, then we should talk. And if you're going to serve them and help these different clients, then we want to talk to you as well.
Guys, this can be so much simpler than you think. It doesn't mean it doesn't take work, right? Doesn't mean that it's a piece of cake. Doesn't mean, oh, you can do this in your sleep. No, it's going to take work. And there's things that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to push past some fear and some mental roadblocks. There's some stuff that's going to be difficult, but guess what? The team will hold your hand every step of the way. So look, all of our clients that you hear us talk about on all these shows that we've done and the people we've interviewed and our success stories and our millionaire clients, they all have one thing in common. They booked that call. So go to clientsondemand.com/talk, book that appointment to speak to us, and let us help you create the business that you want. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mark, thanks so much for being here. And guys, we will see you on the next show. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for tuning in to today's show. If you guys want to subscribe, there's a little picture of me. You can click that button right over there. If you want to book a breakthrough session with our team, which you absolutely should do, then you can click that button there or go to clientsondemand.com/talk to book an appointment to speak to us. We'll go ahead and catch you on the next show. Bye-bye.